Hello and welcome to a BADLego review. Today we've got the series 14 monsters or Halloween series of minifigs. I've got all 16 here. I have got the leaflet as well. I'll talk through some of the features, some of the accessories for each of the figs, and you can have a look as well. Feel free to use this code if you want. I'm not going to use it, so go nuts. So anyway, I've got all 16 here. What I'll do is I'll have a look at each of them individually, talk about the highs and lows. If you haven't already checked out my Instagram account, BADLego Review, you'll also see I do or have just finished reviewing all of the figs as well with a how to feel guide, so you can see what you're looking for. If you're in a shop and you want to get a specific figure, one of your favourites, whoever that might be, say it's the crazy scientist for example, you can feel for him and what you're looking for, etc. You get the idea. So we'll jump straight in. We'll go into the first fig and let me know what you think at the end. Okay, so here we have the Spectre. Now this is one of my surprise favourites from this series. As you can see, quite a cool little expression, more of a sort of Casper's friendly ghost. The friendly ghost expression does glow in the dark, that headpiece as well with the grey hood. Let's just, I don't know if this is going to show up already, but you can just see the glow in the dark bit there. Turn off my highly technical system. We've got the Ninjago base, which is for the new sort of Ghost Figures series. Don't ask me about that, I don't really get into Ninjago, but I'm sure people do. And we've got quite a cool little cape as well, which is similar to, I guess, like the Lord of the Rings Ring Wraith cape. It's a bit torn. The new material, the felt material, that's soft and pliable as well. Quite a cool little fig. A different take on ghosts that we've previously had in minifigure form, so it's nice to get a different look on that. And the sort of the two-tone plastic, which if I just move this chain accessory out of the way, really does kind of make this figure a little bit different, a little bit special. So big fan of that one. I'm not going to rate or rank these figs just yet. I'm just going to put them out of the way and go through. So if you are trying to find your favourite figure, let me know what you think. But for that one, the Spectre, big fan. Loads of features, nice and easy to feel for, although make sure you don't accidentally pick up the Banshee, which we'll look at in a sec. Okay, so next up we've got a zombie businessman who I think a lot of people will look for. Now, zombies are hugely popular in the world of minifigs ever since we had well, again, maybe another zombie businessman if you like, in series 1, which now has quite a high price markup on the secondary market. These guys have been really popular, and LEGO have given us 2 in this series, which is really cool. We'll look at the other zombie later on. We have had a few different zombies. You know this is a CMF zombie, as in collectible minifigures, because it's got red eyes, whereas the Monster Fighter zombies have white eyes. But anyway, this is cool. It's got tousled hair. I've not seen this hair before. Loads of kind of uses for that. Glasses. Slightly confused look on his face. Again, one-sided, which is a bugbear of mine for this series, but we'll talk about that later. But loads of nice torso and leg printing, which is really cool. But some of the standout parts of this fig are the accessories. Now we've got a briefcase, brilliant. That's not brand new, but that's cool. But we do have a Zombie Times newspaper. Now, we've had a few special edition copies of newspapers in the CMF range. We had Simpsons have been good for those, with the Man Yells at Cloud headline that people like. This one just said brains, because obviously that's what zombies care about. That's the headline news for them. So, good figure. Certainly one of my favourites in this series, but that's because I'm a zombie fan. I love zombies. It's always going to be popular for me. Okay, so moving on quickly, before this video becomes some sort of marathon, we do have Squarefoot, that's his Lego name. Obviously we all know him as Bigfoot or the Sasquatch. Some of you might recognise the moulding and the shape of this figure, because of course we had a couple of series ago the Yeti, so they do go well together. Different colouring, obviously, this one brown and dark brown, and we do have some really nice detail on the feet. The rest of the fig is fairly plain in terms of completely all brown torso. Nice addition of the pink hands to go with the pink toes, but it is all about that headpiece. Nice and easy to feel for if you're looking for him. I can imagine, again, like the Yeti, which is quite photographic, very popular for people like me who like to take photos of figs in different scenarios and situations, and the fact that he has a camera to take a picture of all those people following him rather than being the subject of the photo is a nice little bit of humour there from Lego. So quite a popular fig. Just shame it is a little bit boring. Maybe we could have had some torso hair or fur printing, but who am I to argue? Okay, next up we have our only short-legged entry for this series. It is the gargoyle. Obviously we'll try and get a bit of a focus on his printing because it is lots of detail. We've got some arm printing there, obviously the torso and face, and we do have this, as far as I'm concerned, new headpiece or hairpiece, which I think is exclusive to this fig. I'd like to imagine we might get some more uses for this. I don't know where. Maybe it will be in the some sort of fairy tale range, I don't know. I've kind of talked about that being a range coming out soon. We also have these wings as well, which are quite new. I don't think, again, I've seen these anywhere before. Normally you have the flat wings or the sort of more feathery wings for minifigs, but they're quite good. You can see a side profile there, you can see how curved they are. Easy to feel for because of the short legs. I am going to get a couple more of these. I think they're going to look pretty good on top of my haunted mansion. Just solid, not doing anything, but just jazzing the place up. So, big fan of those. Hopefully we'll see some different variations of this, but more statues. They go well with our Statue of Liberty fig from before, but that's the only sort of relation to the previous series. Okay, so moving on through our videos, or a little review of these different figs. I'm trying not to just describe them to help you, because obviously you know what they look like, but give you my personal opinion as well. And next up we do have, for me, one of my favourites. Back in series 4, I think it was, we had the Woodsman. Nice axe, good hat printing, quite a fairly popular figure with the arm printing as well. That was a nice feature, but nothing too spectacular. Now the Wolfman has come out with this big headpiece that is different from any wolf figure we've had before, and lo and behold we have a shirt printing that looks fairly familiar. So some people quite quickly realise this is a Kel from series 4. He has now turned into a wolf, and again we've got some of that toe printing that we had on the Bigfoot fig as well, which is nice. Bit of side leg printing as well for those torn jeans, which is good. I'm just going to take the head off, and we can see there is a bit of printing that's covered up, and we do have this tail, which, like all other tails, is kind of clipped in between the torso and legs, which is a nice addition as well. Again, you can have that tail up or down, whatever works for you. But again, the detail on quite a new, unusual mould for the head at least. Got a few different colours going on, the printing there makes this stand out, and of course he's got a bone to play with. What more do you want? Except him to be able to stand up, obviously. Another standout fig from this series for me is the Crazy Scientist. Note, he is not mad, and we know that for a fact because the Mad Scientist has already popped up before. He was popular, nice little glass vial, cool hair, but this one takes it to another level. He's got the black rubber boots and the black rubber gloves print in there as well. He's doing some experiments, and by the looks of it, call me crazy, he's going to be doing some experiments on some sort of fly monster later on as well. Who knows? Okay, so that's quite a cool addition. Again, tiny printing on a tiny accessory, but is a nice little feature that LEGO have included, especially with those pink spots. No back printing on the torso, at least anyway. But we do have the face. Now, quite cleverly, LEGO have got one face, which is your, I don't know, I'm going to call him Albert Einstein expression. Big tash, grey eyebrows, and that's it really. But add on this element here, he's now got a head that's twice as high, giant goggles, and this tousled hair at the back. So it's a really cool use of a hair element to make an extra piece of head. And again, we'll see how he fits into our next figure. I'm going to jump straight in, none of that swiping stuff. We do have the fly, or the fly monster. Probably should have checked that out before I started filming this. So this guy is based on the original Fly movie. He's got the what looks like a crab claw pincer for one hand. Does have, I don't know if you can quite make it out in this lighting, some sort of hair printing on the torso, which is really nice. And there is no back printing, but we do have the fly wings, which are useful. These have got blue tack on because of a little photo I made. But we do have this headpiece, which does fit on fairly neatly, but does tend to move around a little bit, and these wings basically just are a bit loose, which is a bit of a bugbear for me. But that's a minor thing. To have this sort of trans red and black piece combined is really cool. These antennae are a little bit rubbery, so if you're feeling for those, you'll feel how rubbery they are. And it goes perfectly with the crazy monster, the crazy scientist. Maybe he's a result of the experiments. Although the head is wobbly, I did get a couple of these because if you're going to have flies, you're going to have a couple of them flying around, and I thought I might want a couple of those pincers. So one for each hand, because I don't like things to be uneven. Okay, next up we have a figure which is not really remarkable, but actually one of my surprise favourites from this series. Again, I sometimes feel like LEGO feels like it has to tick a box or overcompensates for a lack of female characters, so throws in characters which perhaps aren't as imaginative or creative as the either generic ones or the male creatures. But this one, she is clearly feminine. She is the Tiger Woman. She has long hair, a little bit of a slinky body there, and this really cool tail. Not that makes her feminine anyway, but anyway, I'm going off track. So this figure, as soon as I saw this, I thought she looks like some sort of Batman villain from the 60s, some sort of caricature villainess. She definitely looks like she's up to no good with that smirking expression. But the tiger printing on the side legs and the arms is amazing. Again, with that tail which can go up or down like the wolf. And this, again, this mould could be used in different colour schemes, different ears for different creatures. I can't decide, and I've seen people talk about whether this is a costume character. I don't think it probably is. I think it's just a woman who thinks she's a tiger and is going to cause some trouble. Maybe she's going to help liberate some tiger friends from the circus with that whip. Who knows? You tell me.